in the UK is called a book of tricks. It's an open book easel card. And that's how it's assembled. It's a pretty basic easel card. It's just the fun part, making the easel. Now, the fun part of this is, can you see the gilding? We're going to do that. And that's with that no gilded leaf embellishment. And see how the book is kind of curved? It looks like open book pages. So it's kind of fun. I love it. It's pretty. Okay, so to get started, we're going to use a sheet from the paper. It's the Very Delightful Designer Series paper in the new January June mini catalog. We're going to use rich Razzleberry cardstock and Whisper White or Basic White. We're going to use 2 stamp sets. We're going to use the Many Messages and the dies and the Berry Blessings stamp set. Okay, so you're going to need one 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And of the Designer Series paper and of the cardstock, you're going to need 7/8 inch by 5 1/8. And 2 5 1/8 by 1 7/8. I have one piece here that's a little slimmer than the other, but doesn't matter. I'll make it fit. A Basic White or Whisper White, 5 1/8. These are the 4 layers for your actual book. So 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And this is just the back side of that Designer Series paper. So it's 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. And then the weather white layer is is 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. And then the top is 4 3/8 by 3 1/8. So there you can see the layers. Okay, and then you need a scrap of paper to stamp the message, and the scrap for the Many Messages. Okay, let's start the stamping first. So on here we're using, you can see that, it's Wishing You the Very Best, and that's from the Berry Blessing stamp set, Rich Razzleberry stamp pad. And I always like to stamp this first just to make sure there's no fuzzies or nothing on the stamp before you go ahead and stamp. Okay. Now this stamp on the Just Wanted to Say and Happy Birthday. This is from the Many Messages stamp set. And this is really cool because it cuts out I just better wipe this. I see I didn't clean it off from last time, and I'm going to get ink on the paper when I lined it up, which wouldn't be the first time. Okay, so easiest way to do this, put your paper down, put your stamp down, it up, and then stamp this. I love the Stamparatus because if you miss a spot or don't quite get the ink on, you can fix it. Okay, give it a good press. Oh, I need more ink. Oh, and I missed the thank you up at the top there. Okay. Perfect. Well, it was a little heavy on the ink there, but that's okay. Okay, and I'll just give this a wipe so I don't get ink again all over. And I'll clean it properly later. Ooh, my whatchamacallit is drying out. I'm going to use the stitch shape framelits, and I'm going to use the oval die. I'm going to use this one here, I think. Yeah, that should fit it. And I just take a piece of washi tape, just stick it where I want it to be. Get that ready. And on this die, you can see I cut out from last time. I've kept them all in a little envelope here, so I can just pull them out. Now to use this die, all you do is you line up, see there's little stars and hearts? Kind of line that up. And just take a look that you're straight a little bit there. Pretty good. So, get another piece of washi tape here. If you've got the blue lift off Scotch tape, that works great too, but I'm out and it's pretty hard to go into the stores to buy stuff, so I've been making do with the washi tape and it works pretty good. Through. And you have to forgive the wiggly table. Okay. There we go. Okay, and on this one, do the same thing. I got to turn this around back again this way. It sounds serious, that cracking, but don't worry about it. That's just the die. Because it's so many cuts in this one die, it's going through the paper seriously. Okay, so garbage that. Take the washi tape off. And these dies. Whoops. Okay, the two that I want to use is, just wanted to say, where to go, where to go. Here we are. And happy birthday. Isn't that great? I got all this stuff. I can just whip it out anytime I'm looking for something. I don't have to do this every time. Marvelous idea. Okay. So let's do some assembly here. Okay, on your cardstock, get your bone folder, fold it in half. Give it a nice good square with your bone folder. Okay, then take this and fold it again. Make a nice even fold with your bone folder as well. Okay. Now you can take those two strips of 1 7/8 by 5 1/8 and put those on. So I'm going to put this one here. I love this stuff. When I first got it, I didn't really know how to put it on. I was having troubles. Well, every once in a while I still get to, but isn't this paper pretty? Okay, so line it up. And I'm the queen of crooked, I tell you. Oh boy. But that's the challenge, right? So then this one goes here. Do the same thing. Like so. Okay, I forgot to cut the little strip for this guy here, and it needs to be on the top of that 4 7/8 by 5/8. So let me do that right now. Okay, so 5 1/8, so it should be 4 7/8 by 5/8. Yeah, okay, that's 7/8, so it would be only 5/8. So it might be better to cut it off this side. So you got 2 4 5/8 right there. You can see that. 5/8. And I just checked to make sure that it's straight here as well at the bottom before I do the cut. And for length, I said 4 7/8. So that's to there. Okay, so start with your bottom layer, the 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and fold it in half, and give it a good crease with your bone folder. Okay, now you want to curve it, and the best thing I found is I take your pick tool and curve this. This gives it a nice curl. Do the same on this side. I'm going to do as much of this handling of the paper before I do the gilding. Okay, so the layer that's going to go on that, which is this layer here, we're going to do the same thing. Take this, let me fold it that way. And do the same thing. Okay, so that's going to go on there. Next layer. Same thing, we're going to fold it in half.
It's 4 o'clock.
Whoops, I forgot to shut my computer voice off. I'm trying to do this video while my cat and dog are sleeping so that I don't have visitors. They're worse than kids. Okay, next layer. Same thing, and I want this on the outside, so I'm going to fold it like so. Nice bone fold, and then curl these. Like so. Okay. Now we're going to get to the fun gilding part, and this is where you get all your tools, everything off your table, because This is pretty magic stuff, but it floats everywhere, and don't get upset if you get it everywhere because it's pretty hard not to. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to move this out of the way, these pages, and I'm going to do something different. Last time when I did this, I used, I used Tombow, and man, did I ever make a mess. So I'm going to try using tear and tape. It should be theoretically a lot easier, right? Okay. Thing is you want to make sure that what I'm going to do with that, because I just messed it up. The gilding's not going to stick to that. Well, maybe I'll put a bit of glue there. Maybe I'll just put another strip of tear and tape over top of it. That might work. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't work, I'll go back and I'll use the Tombow. It should. With this embellishing gold, you need a sticky surface. So if you use Tombow, you have to, when you brush it on, well, brush it or use a sponge, put it on very thin, and remember that it's only going to go on where the glue is. So if you're going to do bare spots, you have to cover it up. And then leave the glue for 2 to 3 minutes so that it gets tacky. Okay, I'm going to try if I can do this without botching everything up. I'll put it on the glass. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm going to see if I can fix this. And then just trim this off. We'll see. Well, we might have a little white edge along there. Oh, I did that on this side too. Gee whiz. Put it on the black, then I can see. Oops. Oops. No. Oh boy, I get myself in a sticky mess and I haven't even started. Can you see that edge? I didn't put it on quite straight. There we go. Holy mackerel. Easier said than done. Okay, now we better do the other one, because once you get this stuff out, you don't, this gilding, you don't want to have to stop and be messing with tape, or you'll be in a real trouble. Okay. So I'm gilding the white layers in between the designer series paper. If you look on this, see, that is actually the white layers. I'm going to save that piece, I might need it. I love when you see these demonstrators that do these perfect videos. I just, I don't know how they do it. Okay. I love this gold gilding. I love it. It's just a little finicky to do. Sort of reminds you going back to grade school. You're going to make a mess no matter how hard you try. Not to. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Let's try this. Okay. Okay, here's the gilded leafing. And I've got a container that I reuse. Now, big tip on this is get your embossing buddy out and really do your fingers. Get any static off. And I've taken my rings off because, boy, this stuff just sticks to your rings like something else. Okay? Just really, there. Now, make sure you have your furnace turned off, windows closed when you're doing this. You see this stuff? It's super light. I'm just going to put some in there. And I've used a lot of this, and you still can't hardly tell. Okay, I want to break it up a bit. And I'm going to take this is the scary part. Oh, you know, I see I've got little cracks. I wonder if I can fix that. See, there's where it's not quite perfectly joined. We'll have to see if I can fix that or not. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to press this. And the beautiful part is that you can reuse this. You can keep using this stuff. I'm just going to feel to make sure that I can feel no sticky parts there. So that means it's, and then just press this down. Oh, I feel a few sticky, so that means it's, you can put more gold on it. Okay, so here's the magic part. With your thumb, kind of pressing down, so you're just going to rub this, take as much excess off as you can. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and some people use brushes and all kinds of fancy tools. I just found my finger is the best because you don't want it, the gold is so fine. If you use a stiff bristled brush, it will leave strokes on the brush. And you want that, I want that sort of magical gold gilding look. So see how that, isn't that amazing? Oh, I just love it. It's so pretty. So you're just rubbing any excess gild leaf off with your finger. Just do it kind of gently but firm until you feel there's no extra there. See, that really covered in those little tiny cracks I was worried about. You really can't see. That worked out pretty good. Just make sure your corners are down good. There's no extra there. The first time I did this, the kitten was in here, and he jumped up, and oh, this stuff went flying everywhere. I had to put him in the tub and wash him down with a washcloth, trying to get the leafing out of him. Okay, one done, one more to go. See, no matter how hard you try, it's gonna get there. It's gonna get where you don't want it. How staticky that is. Okay. I think I'm going to do my fingers again. A little bit more in there. Pick this up a bit more. This is the neatest stuff. Okay, let's do the second one. This is magic stuff, I tell you. Now this is the one that I had to do the little patch job on the edge. Let's see if it works or not. What I'm thinking I'll do is, if it doesn't cover that edge, I'm just going to trim it off with my scissors so you can't see the white. It won't be a big deal. And there's the other patch right there. Okay. All right, so let's dive in. Oops. Oh, nice. Boy, that sticks. Okay, let's dive in and do this. Break this up a bit more. So this works with the tear and tape if you want straight lines. If you want to do flowers and things, you can stamp with it or use a paintbrush and put your glue on your Tombow. Then let it sit for a couple minutes to get tacky. Don't forget that part. Else what'll happen is the glue will kind of smear around. Oh, you'll have a terrible mess. So you want to let that glue set for a couple of minutes just to get tacky. Then when you put your gold on, the glue isn't going to move. This is so fun. Okay. I laughed at one demonstrator. She said, I put my COVID-19 mask on so I don't breathe heavy when I do this, so it doesn't start flying in the air. Well, yeah, you don't want any air movement at all when you're doing this. Oh, there's a little bit there. Shoot. Okay, well, maybe I can do a little patch job. We'll try it. Finish this off first. I didn't do so well on this one. Okay. I am going to try a little patch job here. I just took a little piece of tear and tape. I'm going to put it on there. Hope this works. I don't see why not. Put the sticky down. Perfect. So the tear and tape does adhere to that gold, so you can do a little patch job like I did there. Worked out pretty good. Okay, let's flip her over, get any edges. Wow, that's looking great. Okay. Done. Now, let's see how well I can clean this up. I mean, you're going to lose some, but you know what? It's no big deal. When you're finished for the day, you can clean this up. It's just a baby wipe or something, just with the water, and you can wipe it, clean it right up. Okay, that's about as much as, oh, there's a stray one. How cool is that? Okay, so let me clean up a bit here. Let's start putting this all together now. Okay, starting with this layer, put tear and tape down the middle spine of this. And I'm doing that because I want it to really stick. You don't want it to come undone. And check your pattern. Depends what pattern you're doing to make sure that. Just fold this in half, line it up. And then give it a good press. Like so. Isn't that great? Now, this is the fun part. Now to give, you don't want this flat. I want to raise this up a bit so I get this effect. So what I do is take, you can use tear and tape or whatever, but I like glue dots. Just a little easier for me to handle. And I'll just put 3. One at the top corner, close to the edge, middle, bottom. Okay, now before I raise this up. There, so I've got a bit of a raise there. Isn't that cute? Okay, do the same thing on the other side. You could put anything on this. You really could. If you have, there's so many beautiful stamp sets and dies and things you could add to this. Once you have the basics here, you can build your own book. Okay, so take this. Make sure you bring it in a tad. Whoops. Try to be straight. There you go, so you got a bit of a bump. I could have done that a little more. Don't know if it'll let me lift up or not. Nope, that's down pretty good, so, okay. Okay, so next layer. Make sure I got that curl. Do the same thing. Put the tear and tape down the spine. Okay, fold this in, center it like so, and give it a good press with your bone folder. Okay, so I think it doesn't really have a top side down. No, I don't know. No, this way, I guess. Okay, same thing. Gonna put glue dots on the sides. And here. I love this take your pick tool. That's what I'm using. Okay, just curl this in a bit before you scrunch it down. There. Okay, and the same thing on the other side. Just gonna take this off. There we go. And that's going to go like so. Before I put these layers together, I want to put some ribbon in. And I'm using the, it's called the Metallic Fine Art Ribbon. That's in the January to June mini catalog. It's good. It's pretty. It's good. There's no wrong side to it, really. It's really pretty. So I thought I'd put a piece of that on. Get my ribbon scissors here. And I'm going to put this right about there. So on the back, I'm just going to put a piece of tear and tape, I think. I want it away from the spine a bit so that I can use that. I need to use that spine to attach the layers. Okay, so that's going to go like so. Okay, so now I'm going to attach this the same way I did the other layers with tear and tape down the spine. Okay, and we're going to line this up. All right. Now you'll need something to hold this down, otherwise it'll go flopping everywhere. And you can either use a glue dot or a little bit of tear and tape. Last time I used a glue dot and it got kind of crooked, so I thought I'd try some tear and tape just to be different. And I'm going to put it on the ribbon instead of the paper. See if that's easier. Maybe not. Maybe I should have put it on the paper. Well, it seemed like a good idea. There we go. Okay. Let's bring this down. I want it snug and straight. There we go. Isn't that great looking? Okay, so I think now we can mount this before. I think to decorate it, I think you better adhere this down and then decorate it, because you don't want to be having to handle with everything decorated on it and then try to get it onto your base, because you can only put adhesive so far down because you can't go all the way, right? So you got to just go partially down, and you don't want this to lie flat. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do tear and tape. I don't know, a couple of inches, I guess. Yeah, that's 2 inches, so maybe 1 3/4 of the way down. I'm just going to take a look at that. Put that down to about there. Okay. It's really simple, actually. It's not a difficult one to cut and all that stuff. Okay. Oops, I should be using my pick your pick tool. It's much more forgiving than the scissors. Okay, so take this, make sure you're on the top, and you're going to line this up about so, because you're going to put this in the middle. You want these 2 pages to have a bit of curve, right? So you want straight along the edges, straight along here, and then that middle move down. Yay, there you go. Isn't that pretty? Now you could glue these down if you want. You could put some extra. We'll see how it looks when it's done. Oh, I forgot the I have a sentiment that I put on that says, hoping your day is full of love. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, I'll get some little mini dimensionals out. And we'll center that. I hope. Okay. And then we're going to use the big dimensionals to put it on with. Oops, that didn't work. There we go. I got something on the end of my, probably glue. Okay, so this is going to go about halfway, it's right in the middle. There you go. So that's going to stand like so. Okay. And I think I am going to put some glue dots on those pages. Let's see here. I don't want to flatten it, I want to give it that curl. Okay. I mean, totally up to you. You could leave those open like that. Looks kind of cool, actually. Okay, and just push it in a bit. There. There we go. Okay, let's put our sentiments on now. So the trick to these is give them a bit of a curl, okay? Because they're going to go on that page in a bit of a curl. So we're going to put the happy birthday like so. And we should be able to get big dimensionals on that. Let's try. Yep. Okay, and I just wanted to say we'll have to use some minis. Let's give a bit of a curl too. Okay, and then they're wishing you the very best. We'll use big dimensionals for that guy. Oh, I want to give it a curl. Okay, then to finish it off, well, you know me, I like bling. How about, these are the Gilded gems from the annual catalog. And let's put a big one right here, right between. Just for fun. And then a middle one at the bottom here. And a little guy up here at the top. And that is that. Isn't that gorgeous? I hope you like this. I think that's, so you can put it like this. Now you can make your own boxes, and in July I gave everyone an instruction sheet on how to make your own box. The formula to make any size of box that you want. If you remember, this was in July, and this is the formula. But if you don't want to do that, Stampin' Up has acetate boxes that fit absolutely perfectly. Here they are here. They're acetate card boxes. There's 10 to a pack. And these, you just open, they come flat, and you just fold them. They're simple, they're already scored. You don't have to do anything. And these fit marvelously. So I think if I was going to mail this, I would put 2 pieces of heavy cardstock here at the bottom and ends, you know, because I think this might get flattened in the mail. But this is the kind of a card that you can certainly give or drop off. So there you go. Okay, you could put a ribbon on this, or on this lid, I took some of my scraps and I glued that on there just for fun on top of the box. But this is a spectacular card. And I love the colors. Rich Razzleberry and the gold go so well together. Okay, so hope you like that. If you have any questions, or if you want to know about the supplies and stuff that we used, you go to my website down below. Take a look at these cards. So thanks for coming to my craft room. Bye for now.